Cincinnati's historic Rookwood Pottery is celebrating its 140th year of distinctive pottery production.
I think the great thing about clay is that it kind of like is a give and take. So you definitely have the power over the clay, but the clay also kind of like does this thing where it talks to you back. And I think it's really interesting, especially with taking like a piece of the earth and making it something that will live here forever. So I think the process, not just of the piece itself, but the whole learning process of clay is what kind of drew me into it. My day-to-day is making. I spend all day getting my hands dirty, whether it's doing one-of-a-kind pieces or even prototyping things like the Amelia collection. I'm definitely a 3D thinker. So I just kind of jump in and start throwing. And from there, it's just like doing little things that I think will work. And that's how every single one of those Amelia collection pieces came out, more or less. The design specifically, we were going into the spring open house, so I definitely had like natural flower, spring, newness on the mind, and I think that kind of sheds light on that like starbursty pattern there. I definitely have like a draw towards natural, organic plants, flowers. My dad's an arborist, and so I definitely grew up being very like indulged in that kind of thing, and I think that definitely comes out in my work. The most important thing is the productionality of it. Definitely the way that we are going to go through the process of things definitely limit or kind of give way to what the design needs to be. I think that kind of pattern definitely allows the glaze to kind of like use it as a canvas, more or less. And I think it's just a really great piece, not just for the fact that it is functional and it's producible, but also it's beautiful as a standalone thing.
Color inspires me more than anything. I'm very interested in how colors play together. When I first started, I was taught from scratch. You learn basics like bases of glazes, so like how different glazes react in the kilns, and then you start getting more into color. I had a very skilled master. He kind of took me under his wing, taught me a lot of things that a lot of like basic sprayers don't know. You know, what your speed might dictate, your distance might dictate from spraying piece to piece, and then how to apply that technique to other pieces that you might have not sprayed before. So first, shape and size dictate how we're gonna apply glaze to a piece. And glazes, when you apply them, they're like wet material, like clay, and the color is not true. So what you're seeing in its raw form is not what you'll see when it's finished. So like, sometimes with us, like especially with hand-thrown pottery, we get to throw 2 glazes together, 4 glazes together, that we don't know what it's going to turn out to. My favorite part is the reveal. It's like when we open that kiln and we see these vases and like it didn't stick to the shelf and we can sell it, and it's like something we never thought it was going to be. So that's my favorite part. It's really fun for us to make our own glazes. There's a glaze we offer called Carnival. It's called a Joker. That's like its base because it switches from gloss to matte on one tile. So it almost looks like bamboo bark, like when it gets drier, and then when it gets like heavier or glossier, it turns purple. So that's my favorite one. A lot of what we offer, even when we're putting 2 glazes together, you won't find anywhere else in any other ceramic company. So like I like the fact that we're kind of unique in that sense, that our glazes are very true to who we are here at Rookwood. So I think that's nice.
When Rookwood came back to Cincinnati, it was a ridiculously joyful day for myself and other collectors. The continuing idea, especially that Rookwood would return to where it started in 1880, was phenomenal. Just when I think we've reached our peak in terms of beauty and artistry, we top that ceiling one more time. And so everything that is continuing to evolve is better and better each and every year that we're in production. One of the cool things about Rookwood, especially if you come down for a tour or one of our open house events, you get to meet the employees that work here. And so you can possibly watch the potters throw on the wheel. You can watch some of the items being glazed in the spray department. And a lot of our employees are degreed folks coming from the University of Cincinnati or possibly the Art Academy. And that's analogous to what was happening back in the day, where a lot of the artists back in the 1880s were being pulled from local art schools as well as across the country because of the reputation of Mariah plus the name of Rookwood.
That's one of the things that really has kept me here this long is the history within it. It's honestly an honor to work for a company that did so much for not just females, but female artists in history, that it's really empowering to be a part of that.